Hey guys, I'm IzDaisho and I'm here playing some Bouncin' Boon. And this hand is interesting. I don't really have much going in the early game. But I do have 4 lands and a Cloud Goat Ranger and a duplicate. Yeah, we'll try it. Hopefully we'll draw into some early game stuff, or he's not playing a super aggressive deck. Okay, so he is playing whatever the thing is, the thing that reanimates stuff, the Reanimator deck. Trying to talk, but having some trouble apparently. Alright. Got a Soul Warden off the top, which is pretty nice. But if he does have turn 2 Exhume, then that could be terrible. I guess what I probably should have done last turn was just pass the turn and discarded a duplicate. So if he did have some Reanimator Exhume shenaniganry, then I could have just, it doesn't matter. If he only had 1 Putrid Imp, then it might be a decent trade, but since he's got 2, it doesn't matter. But anyway, passing the turn discarding duplicate protects me from him playing Exhume the entire game, which is kind of cool. But then it does allow him to like reanimate it, so I don't know. That's an interesting discussion to have. Would it be worth it just to pass the turn and discard that? Mere Battlesphere. So what I think I'm actually going to do here is I'm just going to play this core Skyfisher and return, I guess, my Soul Warden back to hand, because I don't want to miss a land drop, since I want to be able to play Cloud Goat Ranger into Duplicate into Mere Battlesphere. So I don't want to like miss any drops or anything, but I also want to get the core Skyfisher out. So I could have either bounced the Skyfisher or the Soul Warden, but the Skyfisher is cheaper, and this way I can attack with it, and he can't attack me. I think I do want to attack him though, because he's stuck on 1 land, and that means that he probably kept a pretty good one past the 1 land. So that means that he's got some action in hand. So I want to kill him as quickly as possible. It's still going to take a while, since, I mean, even with the Cloud Goat Ranger, that's still only like a 6-turn clock. Fortunately, I do have a duplicate, which could be very important in just exiling one of his creatures if he does manage to get a combo off. And then not only that, but I'll also have a giant creature, since his creatures are huge. So duplicate doesn't just exile a creature, it also makes it giant. I guess I'll show you the cards. So Cloud Goat Ranger makes 3 1/1s, and then you can tap them all to give it +2/+0 and flying, which is nice. And then finally, Mere Battlesphere. You've seen it in the last Bouncin' Boon video that I did, but he's basically a baller. It's just a sphere that is built out of tiny little mirror. And it looks like he's still stuck on lands, but I don't know. I mean, it's not like you can say, oh man, he's stuck on lands, you should have lost this one, because the point of that deck is that they need to get a perfect draw to win. So he mulliganed to 6 to try and find a perfect draw, and then he didn't get one, so then he kept a 6 hand like that. So I'm going to attack here with both my guys. And play the Emancipation Angel, get back Soul Warden, play Soul Warden. This was actually a pretty good draw here, since it adds 3 flying power to the board, and I can also play it on curve, since I do have a 1-drop that I can just bounce back to hand here. And, I mean, ideally I would draw Cathar's Crusade so I can win in 2 turns. But without drawing Cathar's Crusade, I can still win this game. It really does suck that we didn't get to play, like, a real game because my opponent didn't do anything. But it's tough. Like, it's tough to play a real game either way when you're playing against that deck. It's either just going to be you lose right away, or they don't do anything, and then you just slowly beat them down and kill them. But it looks like he found a land, which means that it's time for me to worry. It was like 1 turn before I was going to kill him, but whatever. Okay, so let's read this little guy again. So you can discard a card to give it flying. Okay. So it's unlikely that he's going to block and kill one of my guys. Even if he does, I don't think I care that much, so let's attack. In the air, not going to send the Soul Warden, no real reason. He's just going to take the damage. I guess he held back his guys so that he could block Soul Warden, or so like Soul Warden wouldn't attack. I don't know. But there aren't any like reanimation threats that are so scary right now. And considering I have the land and the duplicate in hand, it seems like it's going to be too little too late. No matter what card he plays. Even if he plays... Okay, he's just going to play an accumulated knowledge here. Well, that doesn't seem very good. I guess he's not dead on board currently, but he's pretty dead. I think we're just going to send everyone next turn. Although sending the Kithkin soldiers is a little bit risky, because then once you lose one, you can't make the Cloud Ranger fly. Sorry. Okay, so what I could do, let's see, these things can jump and then block. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So does he have to block my 2 3s to survive? I think he does. 3. Oh wait, what am I doing? I can just duplicate and kill his guy, and then there's no way he can survive. No way, man. I have to send everybody though. I can't just... Yeah, I'd like to use this ability. That'd be wonderful. Make myself a 1/1, you know? It's clutch. Very valuable ability. So, whoa. Is that just not enough damage? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, I guess he's not dead. Maybe you should count next time, idiot. I don't think it's gonna matter, but... That's pretty weird that I miscounted that badly. Hidden Horror is not something that I'm worried about. So my opponent... I don't know what he was keeping, but... It didn't seem like a hand that was even remotely decent. Yeah, like, if he didn't have an Exhume for his, GG, sure. I'll give you a GG if you want one. Not really sure if I'd classify that one as a good game, but I guess it happens. But I'll give him another shot in the next one. Gonna pass the turn here, or what? Yep, okay. So... managed to win that one a little bit later than I should have, I think. No, wait, I couldn't have killed him a turn before, but I thought I could, and I made a mistake by just attacking it all out, but it didn't really matter. I guess the thing that I just shouldn't have done was, probably shouldn't have played the duplicate, but it's not like he could have just played a giant creature that would deal with all my threats, or like a giant, like a Grizzlebrand that would have had lifelink. That would have been pretty bad. But that deck doesn't run any of those good cards, so don't really have to worry about them. That being said, he kept a Putrid Imp, and if he had an Exhume and a big creature, then it could have been really bad, especially if he had drawn a land turn 2. Like, it could have just been, like, he could have just killed me way before I was able to get my duplicate out. But we'll try again. Hopefully he'll get a better hand this time. This one is not going to be good. See, finally found a Cathar's Crusade, but not enough lands. Yeah, sure, we can try this one. It's not incredible, but it'll do stuff. Things will happen that should be preferable for me. Got a white main lion. Like that guy. There's a Skyfisher. So I think we're going to do the same thing that we did last time, to be honest. Just use this Soul Warden as bounce fodder. Turn 3, I'll probably just bounce a land when I play my Emancipation Angel, because I do want to get on the aggro plan here. Don't really care too much about gaining the life off the Soul Warden, but I care more about getting my flyers out there. Alright, so he's got a real hand this time, it looks like. Okay. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's more important for me to play the Emancipation Angel this turn without returning my Skyfisher than playing my Healer of the Pride next turn. Healer of Pride is not particularly relevant in this matchup. It's more for matchups against aggressive decks so that I can survive in the mid to late game. I mean, it's not really for aggressive decks to survive in the early game, but it's just so that I can stabilize and wait for my combos to get online and then win that way. So he's going to play Hidden Horror. Not too bad. Okay, which one is this? It deals combat damage to a player. You look at that player's hand. You may cast an on-land card in it without paying its mana cost. Okay, not a big deal. He can't ninjutsu it from the grave, so don't really care. But I can make a cute play next turn and play Soul Warden, block it, and then bounce it with my white main lion if I want. Or I can just take the damage and then next turn play Healer of the Pride, and then in the following turns just keep playing white main lion at end step, bouncing it, gain 3 life each time. Sounds a little better. Not by much, but a little bit better. Considering I'm taking 8 from this guy first before I do any of that. Ooh, Doppelganger. Sure. Okay, you got it. 4 damage. Coming right up. I am going to play this at end step and bounce it, though. Just to gain some life. Or a life, rather. I don't think I really need it on the battlefield at this point, and I think it'll do more good for me in my hand, so... Alright, so drawing all these lands is not ideal here. Let's see, what are we going to do next turn? I don't really want him to take my white main lion, so I'll probably just chump block the Doppelganger with my Soul Warden, because he's going to be able to make it a copy of this Silent Blade Oni. Distress. Okay, so he's just going to be able to take my white main lion anyway, so now I don't really care. And he can't... Well, he's probably got a land, otherwise he would... There's no way he would have done that. Right? Okay. That seems terrible, but sure. Is that his first or second? It's just his first accumulated knowledge. Alright, so we don't have any gas in hand, but he is on a 2-turn clock here. And what? How could you attack with that? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. Alright, so we're just going to send the team. He's probably just going to block the Soul Warden. No, wait, he can't. He has to chump block this now because he attacked with that last turn for some strange reason. It was just terrible on his part. It was really terrible. It was just a very poorly played turn. He should have, okay, he's just gonna concede, sure. He should have attacked, he should have, activated this guy's ability, exiled his creature from his graveyard, and then, attacked with that one, but left the Hidden Horror back to block the 2/3, and then, I mean, he's still probably not winning that game. He has to find an answer to both my flyers in the next turn, but it could have been a lot better. Anyway, I guess that's a couple of wins for Bounce and Boone. We're going to bounce and then go play another guy, because those games could have been a little bit more competitive if my opponent maybe knew a little bit more what he was doing. I don't know, maybe it's like the first times he's playing with that deck and he's having trouble grasping how to play it or how to build it or something like that. I'm not really sure how the best way is to build it yet. People have given me some suggestions. I like some of them. This is a really awkward hand. I don't think I can keep it. I only have 3 lands and I'm on the play and I want to get to my 5-drops with Skyfisher, but I don't think... Alright, well, this one I'm going to keep. I got a couple of flyers, got a Stonehorn Dignitary and a Flicker Wisp, which is pretty cool. The only problem is it's backwards. I want to be playing this thing on... Alright, so he's playing Slivers. Cool. I want to be playing this thing on turn 4, and then this thing afterwards, and then this thing after that, but... Skyfisher or no Skyfisher? Probably Skyfisher here. Gonna have to bounce land, which sucks, but putting the 2/3 body out there to slow the game down, I think is going to be more important than because if I don't play it now, it's not like I'm just going to be able to play it next turn. I'm not going to be able to play it for a long time, and right now I think it can save me a lot of life by blocking. And right now the real goal is to just get to a point where Sunblast Angel can come down and wipe his board, or at least kill a bunch of his creatures. Alright, so he's got red and white lands, no 2-drop, because the only 2-drops are green in that deck, if I'm not mistaken. Could have a Path to Exile, which would be kind of sweet for me. Another Core Skyfisher. I don't think I want to do that. Not only do I want to save it to bounce the Stonehorn Dignitary later, but I also don't want to bounce another land here. And I see no real reason to send the Skyfisher. He could play a Blur Sliver this turn. He could also play an Unflinching Courage. There's not much I can do about that. Actually, there is. I can just Flicker Wisp it next turn, which should be pretty nice. Some value, not like an incredible amount, and I would have gotten a good amount of value out of Flicker Wisping the Stonehorn Dignitary, but I'm not going to do anything else with my mana this turn anyway, so yep, we're just going to Flicker you. Sorry, bud. Why pause it? What are you going to do to react to this spell? You're just going to read it? Alright. Speaking of which, I should allow you to read these cards. I mean, they're still kind of new, so the guy's kind of sweet. I don't want to attack. I mean, I just maybe I should attack there, but still, like I want to hold back in case he plays like a bone-sized sliver or something like that. It seems more powerful for me to hold back. And I mean, next turn I can attack. I'm going to be playing the Stonehorn Dignitary. Shock. Sure, you got it. It's a little annoying. I would have rather kept the Flicker Wisp around to start killing him, but yeah, can't always work out well. Maybe I don't attack. Ooh, White Main Line. That's going to be good. It's going to be another turn that I can Stonehorn Dignitary. Let's see, I've only got 5 lands, so there's no guarantee I'm going to hit Sunblast Angel on 6 anyway, or that I even want to. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to attack with the Core Skyfisher, and then play my other Core Skyfisher, and return a land to hand. A tapped land, obviously. And that way... sorry. A little sleepy, but that way... Hopefully he'll play something bigger here so that my Stonehorn Dignitary can get more value than saving me 3 life from the combat damage this turn. Alright, it'll be a little bit more than 3, I guess. Those things also have first strike, so can't do anything about that. Gonna take some damage here. Hopefully I draw a Flicker Wisp. That'd be basically the ideal draw. I mean, next turn, I guess, since I obviously can't do it this turn. But I'm going to drop a Stonehorn Dignitary. Make it so that, I don't know, maybe you can't attack next turn. And I can still just chump block a bunch, and then come down with the Sunblast Angel in a couple of turns. So, that could be okay. I can also, next turn, just block something with my Stonehorn Dignitary, and then White Mainline it back to hand, so I don't die. Maybe chump block another thing with the Skyfisher. There's a Predatory Sliver. Yeah, maybe chump block 2 things. We're gonna chump block 2 things. Unless I draw a Flicker Wisp here, which would be incredible. Okay, so sure, you can go. And now I'll go down to 1 life. If everything goes according to plan. And then wipe his board with a Sunblast Angel. But there's a lot that could kill me. Alright, so he's only got 1 card left. But still, if it's a Sliver that pumps, if it's double strikey Sliver, if it's a shock, any of those situations, I just die on the spot. Vigilant Sliver is not in the deck, but if it were, then I would pretty much just kill me here. Okay, so, oh, actually I'm going to go to 2. Does not matter what I block, since the things that I'm going to block with are going to die anyway. Sure. Play White Main Lion, bounce the Dignitary. I don't see why he's so worried. Then again, he paused it earlier to read my card, so I guess he's just trying to figure out what's going on, why I'm playing the card in the middle of combat after blocks. And now he's realizing that it's not going to do that much. I guess Trample Sliver also would have killed me, but he didn't have enough mana for that. Path to Exile. Sure. What the hell was that about? God. That was so bad. It just did absolutely nothing. That creature was about to die anyway. All he did was just give me a land. Alrighty. Sorry, bud. Sunblast Angel's coming down. Ruin your party. But I could stop drawing lands at this point. That would be okay with me, too. I wouldn't mind that. Now we need to start killing him. I mean, I'm pretty glad that I saved that damage earlier on in the game by holding the Skyfisher back. Otherwise, probably would have lost. I think it was the correct play, too. Alright, he's just going to do that. And I can feel free to attack with both my guys since I have the Dignitary. Again, if we could stop drawing lands, that would be optimal. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lands, 10 spells. At least we're still winning. And we got the Dignitary. And the next turn, I'll probably just hold one guy back. Depending on what he does, I might hold 2 guys back. Just so that I can protect against him playing like a Blur Sliver or something. I guess my opponent's drawing a lot of lands too, but not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I'm gonna hold one guy back. Still gonna have him dead in the air. And then this way I can protect against a Blur Sliver. He can just draw Shock off the top and kill me, which would probably be hilarious. I mean, that's kind of the only way to finish this game out, right? Alright, he's just gonna finish off with another land. So, yeah, he had 9 lands and like 8 spells. Alright, I mean, I've got 12, so that's the thing, right? Anyway, that was a pretty cool game. Managed to get a 5 for 1 out of... No, 6 for 1 because it's still a 4/5 out of my Sunblast Angel. Then again, it was not really a 6 for 1 since he did kill like 2 of my creatures with his creatures. So, not the point. The point is that we managed to get there and that my opponent was kind of terrible. If he had held on to the Path to Exile, then he probably would have survived like 3 more turns or something like that, and maybe been able to come back from that game. But whatever, not my problem. Not my problem. God, joining games, always a fun time. Alright, well, looks like it's been pretty quick today. Unless... Why do people do this? Like, are they just trying to make me angry? Anyway, let's try and create our own match. See how that works. I mean, I guess people do it because so many other people do it, and when I say what are they doing, it's just sitting in a lobby and having no intention of ever starting the game. And I guess the reason why people do it is because you have to just drop yourself in a lobby and then head out, come back 25 minutes later. Otherwise, you're never going to get in a game anyway because there's 10 other lobbies like that, and then for somebody to find your lobby that actually does have somebody who wants to play, it takes a while, so... That was a really long description for something that I probably could have said in like 4 words, but I don't know. I like it. Alright, we'll finish. We'll stop the video here, and if I ever find an opponent, then I'll come back. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.